Welcome back to Hanging in the Hideout. Welcome if it's your first time. I am your host, Hollywood, 21-year police officer, currently active duty. In this episode, we're going to discuss some police-related stories, both humorous and shocking. But afterwards, in the end, I will share a personal story behind the badge. And hopefully you enjoy it. Stay tuned. In our first story, we're going to go to New York, where this individual is driving around with 150 pounds of marijuana in his vehicle. He comes to an intersection where he's approached by three men. These men remove him from the vehicle, beat him, steal his belongings, and then throw him back in the car and take off with him. Now, obviously, people observe this and surprisingly call the police and report the abduction. Police look around or whatever, and I don't know how the time frame on this is developed, but they say 30 minutes later the vehicle speeds, breaks through a fence, and falls down an embankment where it's kind of half hanging off in the picture you're seeing here. Now, it remains there all night, and they find it in the morning. But what's kind of jacked up about this is the victim, bring, hello police, help me. He calls the police, and they go to his location, which ends up being a stash house. So after a search warrant, they recover 490 pounds more marijuana and 3 pounds of THC-laced edibles. So the victim ends up going to jail after being abducted, beaten, everything. Okay, I mean, 600 pounds. You got to go to jail, right? Well, the carjackers, 2 of the 3 carjackers, were also arrested. Later found. Evidently, the police believe that after the abduction and everything, the carjackers observed a patrol car or something and freaked out, sped off thinking, I guess, that police knew what was going on or whatnot, and that's how they crashed through the fence and all. Well, they were arrested on, good Lord, the charges. Let me find these charges. The 2 men were arrested for robbery, burglary, car theft, fleeing police car, obstruction of government administration, but no mention of abduction. So I guess in New York you can take people? I don't know. But here's the most shocking part. What do you think the bail for 600 pounds of marijuana is? 0. He got off without bail. What do you think the bail is for all those offenses I mentioned that were filed on the 2 carjackers? $25,000. You get that around here for like possession of methamphetamine under a gram. Like, dude, what? $25,000? Those are major felonies here. I don't get it. On to the next story. In this next episode, we're going to go to New Mexico, where a officer claims that I have the coolest freaking job. Why would an officer say that? I'll tell you why. If you look at your screen down here, you will see that the officer gets to chase a pig on a godforsaken interstate. Not the coolest job for me, but hey, to each his own. But we have a successful capture and rescue of this fine swine. But the pig is safely in some kind of facility where it's going to be fine and not be on a breakfast table. Next story. In our next story, we go to Louisiana, where a good buddy pretends to be a judge in order to get his friend, an inmate, out of jail. Now, this actually worked by making a phone call. And surprise, we have that phone call I'll play just after this story. But he calls in and he somehow convinces the correctional facility to release his friend, and it went unnoticed until the inmate showed up for court. And whenever the judge is reviewing the case or whatnot, they discover, hey, you're supposed to be in jail. Long story short, the buddy and the inmate are now cellmates. The jail was contacted about this, and let me get a quote here. The jail responded that, yeah, we've been getting a lot of calls like this from people acting like judges. And they still succeeded. Let's hear the phone call.
Louisiana Correctional Facility. This is Officer Daniels.
Ah, yes, Officer Daniels. This is Judge Skywalker. And I'm calling from your local parish to see if you by chance have an inmate in there by the name of Galliganukas.
You said Galganukas, and how you spell that?
Galliganukas. It's G-A is L is A. Nukas, common spelling.
Alrighty. It looks like we do have him here in custody. What can I do for you?
Well, I've been reviewing his file, and I do declare that he is unlawfully possessed in that there's inmate cell. We just need to let him go.
Yeah, alrighty. And, sorry to bother you, sir, but we've been having a lot of fake judge calls recently.
Yeah, I heard about that. But see, if I was a fake judge, by law, I am required to tell you I'm a fake judge. And by golly, I'm not a fake judge.
That is true. That is true.
I do appreciate your due diligence in trying to check and make sure I'm legitimate. So what time can I expect Mr. Galliganukas to come out?
Well, it looks like the earliest I'm going to be able to get him out is probably tomorrow around 7:30.
That don't work for me. I get off around 5 today to have him released before I get off. Can we, possibly talk about a shiny little quarter for you? Maybe 5 o'clock today work for you?
Well, let me look real quick and see. It does look like I can get him out possibly by then. If I move things around a little bit.
I do appreciate you checking on the legitimacy of my phone call and who I am before releasing him. That is some dang good work, man. You have a good day, and I look forward to seeing hearing about Mr. Galliganus's legal release from that cell.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, sir, Mr. Officer Daniels, sir.
All right. Well, then you have a nice day, sir.
Yes, sir. In this story, we're going to remain in Louisiana, where 2 Colorado individuals, geniuses, mind you, decided that they're going to launch $200,000 worth of tobacco and methamphetamine into a correctional facility. How are they going to do that, you ask? They're going to get an air cannon. I'm assuming kind of like they do the t-shirts at concerts and sporting events. And they're going to launch it, I think it was like 350 feet into the correctional facility. But go figure. They were spotted and apprehended prior to being able to successfully do this. Now this, they must not have been too small time. $200K, dope, man. That's a lot of hooch. That's stuck in my head this time. But that's a lot. Tobacco and meth, man. Great mix. And glad they got caught. As we wrap up this episode, prior to my closing with my Behind the Badge story, this is Baby or Burrito. Now, this has happened in our city as well, and I'm sure it's happened in multiple places. Police get called out to a Walmart, and inside a trash can, they believe an infant has been discarded. Well, it ends up being a burrito. But this hits home, so much home with me. Because here recently, we had a homeless female give birth outside somewhere, and she took her placenta and threw it in a Dollar General parking lot. Or I'm sorry, not the parking lot, the trash can. And we start getting the calls of a baby being discarded. We go, we find the placenta. We eventually find the female, who did get aftercare-ish. Hadn't seen her since. Hope she's okay. But there's that, right? We get these calls. I remember years ago, I got this call that it was like one of those, like, ee! And it was a baby was being reported being found in some plumbing, backing up the plumbing to the house. And plumbers are out there cutting up the pipe, and they see a back, like a spine, and a hand. So it's like, baby in the pipes. So I show up. I look. I'm like, crap, that does look like kind of like a kid. So we end up taking up the whole pipe, pulling the child out, just to find out it was this ginormous rat. And it was hairless because the water, I guess, rushing by. Water does weird things to bodies. And I thought that was pretty dang entertaining because it wasn't a kid, thank God. But there has been stories of people giving birth on toilets and stuff, like I mentioned last episode. For our Behind the Badge story this time, we're going to discuss a very jacked up call I got. I'm 10 years in or so at least at this point, and I get a call at the hospital or local hospital, and there is a individual that brought a baby in a shoebox that had been buried into the hospital. I don't know why, but I got that call. Welcome to police work. So I get there and contact the female that brought it in first, get her ID'd and all that. And then I got to go see this kid. Like, I don't know what happened. And I didn't get her story first. I just wanted to ID her and then confirm there was actually a kid and yada yada. This ends up the most confusing story. Like, I don't understand people. But, there was a kid about, regular size of a newborn in a shoebox. And there was some dirt on it and stuff. Like, it had been buried just like it was reported. So I get the full story. Now, I'm talking hours of investigating, photographing, calling other agencies. Here's the story. This mother gave birth to a child who ended up dying prior to seeking treatment, gave birth at a home. She put it in her freezer for about, 2 days and said, I got to do something with this kid. So she takes it over to her boyfriend's house and puts it in his freezer. Refrigerator. Kind of like thaw it out. After that, they take it to his mother's house off in Fort Worth area. And I kid you not, the road that they went down that his mother lived on was Grave Road. Kind of creepy, right? So they don't get permission from the mother. They bury the child on her property, in the back of the property. I guess she has some land. Of course, that's where the other agency to go out there and confirm this is all true, right? Mom talked to her. She's like, yeah. So what happened was I found out they buried a baby on my property without my permission. I said, you get that damn baby out of here. So they came out with shovels, dug it up, and no one thought to call any authority during this. But they came out, they dug up the baby, and of all things, decided to bring it back to our city, go to the hospital with it, and be like, hey, kid's been dead for days. Here. Like, what the hell's wrong with people, man? So I got through working this whole incident. No one got arrested or anything. It appeared that the child was underdeveloped and wasn't going to live anyway. I mean, obviously, died naturally. But it was just insane that how strange of a call is that? I mean, what would you do? Leave it in the comments below. What would you do if you had to go to one of these officers? Trust me. Tell me your story. I love hearing these jacked up stories. It leaves you going like, what? Even after 21 years, you'd be like, what? But tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, how jacked up is that? Do you think they should have gone to jail? I mean, what? Well, that's all I got for you this week. Keep on coming back. New episodes uploaded weekly. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I am Hollywood. Keep coming back and hanging out with me in the Hideout. Till then, watch your six. Take care of each other.